Check, check. Whoa. See what's going on out there today. Welcome everybody to the Saturday live stream. I'm going to start doing more live streams. What's up, Nebraska fan? John Daly, what's up, buddy? Chop, chop, busy, busy, work, work, back, back. What's up, John Davenport? John Daly, thank you so much for that suicide knob. I don't know what the actual technical term for that thing, but man, what a game changer that thing is. John Davenport, too cold to scrap here in South Texas? Wow. I would think Texas would be a little warm. It's actually warm in my shop right now. I'm gonna have to turn on a fan real quick. So, XVerD, I don't know what your name is, but hello. You're streaming when I'm awake. Where are you from? E or XVDERTY? EBRE, Netherlands. What's up, buddy? Lucky Loot Tube. Hello from Germany. Dag. 37 degrees. Dude, it's got to be 75 degrees outside. It was actually, we had a cold front. Was it yesterday? It was actually chilly. I had to put long sleeves on. It's 72 degrees here right now in South Florida. 1 second. I gotta turn on a fan real quick. I don't know if that's going to be picking up on camera. I found a setting. I did a couple things to try to get the better audio. Something digging in my hip here. I downloaded an app because you know what? My GoPro has great audio. And I looked up to see if you could use it for live streaming, which you can. Problem is, I went through this whole process of downloading everything so that I can use my GoPro. And I was thinking I could use my media mod with the microphone for, going live. And it would pick up the background noise of the wire stripper and wouldn't cut everything out. And I get all the way through all that, get it working. And then I'm reading a couple things. And it said things you can't do. And one of them is use the GoPro's microphone for your stream. So I did all that basically for nothing. But if I want to use a second camera or use it as a camera instead of this 4K one. What's up, See You Scrapping? Oh, the dude's from Italy, and his name is something perverted in Italian. Okay, well, good thing we speak English over here. What's up, Roll Tide Builds? Canadian Grower 420. What's up, dude? Jody High Roller. Was that a gun on your hip? Yeah. It's my daily carry, my SIG 45. When I sit down like this, I'm wearing my I must be getting fat because my clothes are getting tight. So when I bend over, things start digging in my gut. That's so American. We don't have pistols like that in Europe. That's crazy, man. Everybody should be able to have a way to protect themselves. Oh, look, it's Michelle and Amelia. That's wild. Canada sucks. Dag. You know, it's really wild. Like over here in America, we can have stuff like this. It's the old 75 round chopper, you know, just in case someone wants to get frisky on a Saturday. Hey, you know what's crazy about Canada? I was reading somewhere that Canada, I was watching this video, and Canada is actually, well, this guy was saying, I don't know, because that's as far as I went is watching his video, that Canada is actually part of the United States, and Canada has pretty much all the same, you know, laws that we have. You know, that to me, that's crazy that like anywhere that the people don't get to decide. What does that tell you about like certain places? I mean, in my opinion, I mean, even though, you know, we're allowed to do stuff like that in America, I still think we're all slaves in some shape or form. No, Michelle, that's not yours. I'm an AK guy. I got an AR for you. That's behind the couch. I've never touched a gun my whole life. No gun in Italy. Man, that's crazy. Shane Garcia, what's up, dude? Get a wedge to stick in the bottom of the holster. You know what? It's just the way that I carry. Like if I carried my, you know, personal protection to the side, it wouldn't be so bad. But I like to carry it like right in front of me. I don't ever want like I've seen so many videos where people were concealed carrying or open carrying, and someone reached and grabbed their gun. You know, so to me, I want to make it as hard as possible for someone to do that, and as quick as possible for me to get to what I need to get to if I had to. What could you possibly need that for? Staying free, I guess. You know, the way the United States is supposed to be set up, you're supposed to be able to have the same exact stuff the military can have. You know, that's what a well-regulated military, militia, a well-regulated militia is. It's the civilians that, you know, we've gone very far from that. I mean, we should all have Abram tanks and F-22 Raptors in our backyards, in my opinion. Was that a Meridian Defense? No. And the guy I got this from, This is a Romanian AK-47. I bought this at a pawn shop, and the guy at the pawn shop was telling me he's an AK guy that was in the Army and actually was like over there overseas. And he was telling me that this particular one has like a real deal barrel. It's got there's different kits that they would import in the United States, and this particular one was like a real. It's a better quality. It's got the thing on the side. I don't know if anyone knows about AKs, but you don't ever put a scope up here. They actually have this thing on the side for you to put your scope or your like my optics up here on the front, my red dot, which is, you know, pretty accurate. But if I were to put a scope on here, you would use this mount here. And that's the proper way to scope your AK. You don't ever put a scope here on your dust cover, because that thing just moves all over the place. Anyway, I know not everybody is here to see guns, but so anyway, I got some really cool scrap the other day. This isn't all of it, but I got 2 pallets out here we're going to go through in a couple minutes here. Just want to say what's up to everybody, see what you guys are doing. One of my customers, I'm sure you've heard, they pretty much pulled out of Florida. They're from the north. And as they were leaving, I was over there. They were giving me a bunch of stuff and cleaning out their shop. They introduced me to the neighbor. This guy, he's like me in 30 years. He's like 70 or something like that, 70 something. He's an old dude. He's an engineer, a machinist. His shop is like my shop on steroids, but way more organized. And he has all the nice tools in there. So immediately once I walked into his shop, I was like, this guy's my new best friend. And we hit it off, you know, immediately. When you can, when I get around someone that's like an engineer, I start throwing ideas at them and asking them questions. And, you know, sometimes it's like when you can get an engineer to stop and think and be like, wow, you know, and then start bouncing ideas off each other, you kind of get like an immediate friendship type going on, because it's hard to find people like that in this day and age. But he's got a couple things. I'm looking to get a CNC milling machine from the dude. He's got a mill. It's a little bit smaller than my Lugan milling machine over there, but it's 3-axis machine, and which is what I need to make my first product that I want to make on a bigger scale. I can probably set the machine up to pump out 10, maybe even 20 pieces at a time. You fixture them all up, and you know, you do all the cuts. But yeah, anyway, he gave me a bunch of stuff. Now I did pay him for some stuff. We got some copper you'll actually see coming up in a video, and some big, actually I previewed it in the beginning of the last video when I was talking about the scammer that was using my picture to, I don't even know what he was doing. I tried to get the guy to email me what he was posting my picture with, because I think that's, I mean, that's just crazy. I didn't think I'd ever get to a point where people would be using my picture to like try to scam people or whatever they were doing. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the post, but I showed something I got from the dude, which is just tricked out. Well, those pieces aren't, but what they came from, which he actually has a full blown operational unit in his shop. First time I've ever seen one in person. It just looks incredible. But I got some really cool stuff from him, and some other things that I don't know if I'm going to keep. I'd love to keep, but I got to kind of upgrade it or fix it. but it'd actually be a pretty, in my opinion, it'd be a pretty cool addition to the shop. And if I ever did have a piece of property, it would be a nice little thing to have on the property. So let me catch up on some comments right here. You guys need your gun laws changed? Yeah, that's crazy. No one should be able to tell you can't have a gun, man. How are you supposed to protect yourself? I mean, cops. You know what? You tell people like that. First of all them people tell you can't have a gun. They have armed security, okay, which I think is ridiculous. And then, if they're not going to be able to, if you can't protect yourself or your family, are they going to provide you with 24-hour security? I don't think so. So they got no business telling you that you can't do that. Let me just catch up on these things, and we're getting right into this pile behind me. There's some pretty cool things in there, or at least pretty cool to me. The shop seems quiet today. Yeah, I got the doors down because the neighbor's blasting, which, I mean, I don't care. I blast music all day here myself, but he's got, every day. What time is it? Every day after 12 on Saturdays, and then every day during the week after 5. It's like a circus around here. Everybody cranks up the stereos, but he's got some music blasting. Let's see. What's up, Cheryl Drake? Become the 51st state, and then you can carry. Yeah, there's a whole thing in the news with Trump and trying to acquire Canada, and that's just crazy. Hey, what's up, Frank? I think my editor picked up that thing you sent. As soon as it comes, man, I'll show it on the channel. And I talked to your buddy Merchant Metals, or I messaged him. I was watching one of his videos. If you guys haven't seen that guy, go check it. He's got a mobile scrap rig. It's actually, in my opinion, it looks crazy, but it's pretty cool. He's got like a camper, and in front of the camp, it looks like he plopped the camper down on a big trailer or did something. And then there's a space in between the camper and the tongue. He's got like a little workstation, and he built himself a little, like a transformer press. And he's got a little crane on there. And then the funniest thing I seen he had was this cart, one of those drivable little dump things. And he's like driving around the scrapyard dumping. I thought it was kind of funny, but it's pretty cool. But the dude's like going state to state scrapping, which is, I mean, that's kind of a risky endeavor. But he says he's on his way down here and wants to shake my hand. So that's pretty cool. I like his setup. I mean, to me, that's cool as shit. Was I in the military? No. I'm not about like killing people. I'm not gonna go fight some rich man's war. I'll if I ever had to, I wouldn't think twice about like protecting me or my family, but I'm not gonna go have someone send me somewhere to, fight someone that's not over here affecting me or bothering me. To me, all them wars is about depopulation, population control, and making money. But one time I did go, and I took off of high school because a guy offered me a free ride in a Hummer to go take the test for the military. I forget what it was, but I got a free ride in a Hummer. I went and took the test and qualified. I forget. The guy called my parents' house for years trying to get me to sign up because I aced the test and like was qualifying for like military intelligence. But I ain't about that, man. I ain't going to help someone slaughter people that got nothing to do with me or my country or, like I said, don't go fighting a rich man's war. Let them battle it out, man. You know what I'm saying? If President Trump has a problem with Putin, or if Zelensky has a problem with Putin, let them duke it out. Why are you sending a bunch of people that don't know each other, have never had any type of interaction, Like the grunt on the ground from Ukraine has never met the grunt on the ground from Russia. They haven't affected each other's lives in a negative way. Why are they out there slaughtering each other? It makes no sense if you think about it. Anyway, Scrapping Hood. I like that name. What's up? Glad the videos are back. Yeah, man. Oh, someone said, oh, something about my mental health. I didn't have like a mental break. I was just physically tired. Like my bones were hurting, man. You know, because I don't sleep well. Like even the couple days I took off, I'd sit there and I'd be up just thinking about stuff. I sit there and think about shit all the time. It's hard for me to sleep and get REM sleep. So I needed to just try to stop for, you know, a couple days. But unfortunately, I can't completely stop because I still have to pay for this ridiculous shop, which this is my third year coming up. March 1st is my third year in this shop. And the third year, they're cranking up my rent again. So they've already got me for $200 in the middle of my lease for, you know, not just me, but everybody in the whole building. They raised everybody's rent for electric. They got me for $200. Everybody else they got for like $100, and a couple other people they got for $200. And then they just gave me the paperwork to sign my new lease. Now they're cranking me up another $300 a month. So now I'm at $5,513, and that's just for this place. That's not including anything else. Imagine trying to crack that nut every month. Andrew Honer, what's up from the UK, dude? I want a nuclear powered submarine. I'd cut my heating bill quite a bit. Hey, you know what's funny? Look up radium and radium engines years ago, and the old flying ships are what we would call blimp today. They were actually, or Zeppelins back in the day. There's a reason why they had the Hindenburg crash in New Jersey, and it was this big spectacle. They wanted to demonize that type of travel. Basically, back in the day, if you really research it, those blimps were way more popular than you think. They were actually like the cruise ships of their day. They were way bigger, way more advanced than you actually think. And they ran off of what they call a radium engine. And the byproduct of running a radium engine is helium. So they were basically a self-sufficient ship, free air travel. Why would they take free travel from us? Can't bill you, you know, for luggage and an extra bag and fuel costs if the dang thing floats around for free. Tell us about your upcoming scrap. What you got cooking down the pipe? I love seeing them big ass spools stripped out. Oh, we got some spools coming. Me and Oliver are in here stripping some spools. Got some big boy motors. I did my second biggest motor. Right after I did that big one, I picked up another one that was tilting the forklift, trying to pick it up. Wait till you see that video. It was actually so big, I didn't know if I was going to be able to split it in the stator. It was any bigger, and I wouldn't have been able to do it. Matter of fact, it actually didn't fit in the press. I actually had to get the press all the way up, and I had to roll the thing in there, and the blade basically, like, you know, it came in where the angle was. I had to come in like this and start on the side. And once I got in there, I rolled it in more and finally got it in there. It was a process. How much does a weapon cost in Florida? Well, it depends on you want, man. You can get rifles, ARs and AKs have gone up in price. You can get on the low end, a cheapie, $600-700. But on the upper end, you're going to pay $1,100 to over. I mean, you could pay up to $3,000 or $4,000. And that was one of the reasons why I could never sell my AR-15 that I bought. Both of my ARs I paid I paid $1,100 for one, $1,000 for the other used, but it was built by a ex-cop that trains with like military people. It's actually a tricked out one, but I didn't know that you need to lube the crap out of an AR-15. Me, I'm an AK guy, man. You run 100 rounds through a throat in the corner, come back to it in a year, run another 100 rounds. It ain't nothing. But the ARs, you gotta pretty much clean them good. But I was taking it around. That's why I got arrested with it, because I was bringing them to work with me. I was showing my customers, hey, I got these 2 ARs. I don't need both of them. And if you go watch that video, it's actually on Rumble under the Free Human Project, of what happened and how I actually got my guns back and the whole ordeal. But every time I would show my $1,000 AR to my customers, they're like, oh man, that's cute. Here's my tricked out, fully built $5,000 or $3,000 gun, you know? So it's whatever. I'm just going to keep them. Can't ever have enough guns. Let's see. But pistols you can get pretty cheap. Can't put a price on freedom. That's right, Michelle. Romanian built Warsaw are great. Hopefully not built by Century Arms in the U.S. But either way, not bad. Atlantic Arms, Romania, mid-60s, 63 with the big wooden dong is my baby. Yeah, my first AK was a Romanian all wood furniture. Someone put all this furniture. I bought this gun pretty much the way it sits, except for the 75 round drum. Let's see. What's the best way to get household breakers apart? Probably drill the rivets, or just smash them with a hammer. They're kind of brittle. I cooked a bunch of them one day. It actually worked out pretty good. I just washed the stuff away with a hose when I was done. Good day from New Jersey. Patrick, what's up, dude? That's my home state. I was born in Atlantic City. Michael Thomas, what's up, buddy? Found the program 3 months ago. I find it fascinating. Thank you. Mystery Gardener. When will you build a tank? I'd love to, man. That'd be cool. I mean, we shouldn't even be worried about stuff like, in my opinion, we spend too much energy on building like weapons of war. We should be focusing on clean, renewable energy, free energy, food, better processes of food, healthy food, you know, like that's where our energy and the scientists should be putting energy into. Yeah, Frank, I watched a couple of his videos of him driving that rig around, dude. It's crazy. He's driving through like the mountains with that thing, and his little dog, which I think is cool. Yeah, you're right, Steve Scrapping. A hammer is probably the best way to break those breakers, because other than that, you're drilling. Maybe if you set something up in a drill press and you can just, you know, put them in there and crank them out really quick, but just beat them apart. What's up, Alan from England? Yeah, everything's great. Little Sanctuary. The SIG P320 X5 9mm. Yeah, my other half has a 9mm SIG. You can actually see it in that video I shot when we were at the range. It's okay. 9mm is like, I don't know. I'm just a bigger dude. I'm 290 pounds almost. So, a 45 is kind of fitting to me, or my 50 cal. It's my favorite. But that's not too practical to carry around, man. It's like lugging around a 20-pound weight. Do you think scrap prices will go up in the tariff wars? That's a good question. I don't know, man. I mean, in the escalation of everything, it's crazy. From when I started, copper and aluminum was low, and now it's like really high. But steel, back in the day, man, I used to get 14 cents a pound for prepared steel. And I'm getting like 8 cents now. I haven't seen it above 10 in years, man. So I don't know why certain things go up and certain things go down. But with the tariffs, I don't know, man. I'd just like to see more of the scrap that's produced in any country be utilized in that country. There's no reason to be like shipping stuff halfway across the freaking ocean. We could be making stuff here. What's up, Super Rashid? Nice to see you. Salty Zero, what's up, dude? Gigi Serpents, what's up, dude? FLF, what's up from France? Hello from France, what's up, dude? All right, I'm just gonna scroll. Hey, what's up, Adam W? How's the scrap shorting going? I don't know, man. Apparently, some people think I talk too much. $1 million tank can be destroyed by a $200 drone. That's sad. Yeah, that's crazy, man. There's no reason for. And you know what's crazy about them drones, man? Just think about the stuff you see. What do you think the military has that you don't see with those drones? I was watching this video. The guy was showing like a swarm of drones with. You don't even need a lot of explosives. You could just have a drone and it just like either heat seek or just come at you and just blow up in your face. And you could send out a swarm of thousands of them. That kind of makes me nervous because unless you have some way of jamming signals, or I don't even think like I'd like to see some real evidence of an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse. I'd like to, if anyone's ever seen like a video where someone's demonstrated that, or is that just like a myth? Because I was watching something. You really should look into the nuclear hoax. And if you really look into it, it's like a lot of fear mongering to keep people afraid and in check. If you go back and watch those original test footage from the United States of them blowing stuff up, the guy breaks it down, it all looks like models. They're blowing up models. Okay. They were using special effects back. That's like the special effects of the day, Hey, I commented about those breakers on eBay. I sell on eBay for a local scrapper here in Austin. Yeah. I had a guy come by. I was out there working, and a dude came by and stopped and, was asking if he could buy scrap or something. I'm like, nah, man. But, and then he asked me about breakers. So I did sell those big 1200 amp breakers. I sold them for like $300. I wouldn't have made that breaking them down. So let's see what else we got. All right, I'm gonna get fake mushroom cloud. Hold on a second. So I'm gonna just anybody that wants to look into. There's a website called stoplookthink.com, I think. And if you're into conspiracy theories, grab a bucket of popcorn and go to that website, man, because you'll be there all day. But I like people that bring facts, man. It's like the JFK stuff. They just dumped. I haven't seen what they dumped, but I watched the video and I can't find it for the life of me. It was the guy that the FBI first brought the Zapruder film to, okay? And what he said was, what you guys seen on TV is not the film that I seen. And then he was breaking it down. And one of the easiest ways you can tell that film was doctored. Look it up. Look at the car going by. And then look at the people in the grass behind the car, JFK and Jacqueline Kennedy. They're massive. They've been enlarged, like they've been zoomed in. The whole film was broken up somehow. And he goes, and he explained it. And I really wish I can have, because the way he explained it, you're just like, holy crap, man, this film is totally doctored. But just one thing, look at the people behind the car. It's like, looks like a lady. They're very colorful, whatever they're wearing, but you can tell they just look massive compared to the people in the foreground. Now, how are you going to, if you shoot any type of video or you know anything about perspective, people in the distance, they're going to shrink down, okay? They're not going to be larger than the people in the foreground. Very odd stuff going on. Only someone that knows a lot about film would pick up on that. And I guess the guy was like, oh, they wanted me to do things, and he didn't want to do it, so they took it somewhere else. And he remembers, he goes, yeah, that's not the film that I seen. Let's see. Antonio, what's up? From Sicily. Let's see. Patrick, I'm in Ocean County. I know you have a lot on your plate. Have you ever thought of starting your sluice running? Yeah, man. I just have so many projects and there's so much time in a day. I have the coolest idea for the sluice. And I've mentioned a couple things on the channel about what I want to do, but there's some things that I've never mentioned that once I start building it again, if I can get these things implemented, it is going to blow your mind. I'm talking about like next level, some shit you've never seen, no one else has. It's going to be, not only is it going to look cool as crap, but it's going to function awesome. We don't get shit for prices here in Utah. Man, that sucks, man. How about Steve? Is he gone again? What's that story? Steve is kind of like back and forth. I don't think he knows where he wants to go or what he's going to do. He had a situation that didn't work out apparently. But he's back. He pops in all the time. I see him a couple times a week probably. Fake mushroom clouds. You really got to look into it, dude. And the stories like the whole Hiroshima thing. Adam W. I'm responding to your comment. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You really got to look into that stuff. Hey, if anyone needs $30 worth of crap tools, Harbor Freight will give you a 5-gallon bucket for free this weekend. Really? For $30 worth of tools? Man, I got a Harbor Freight right down the road, dude. That's like my kryptonite. I hate going in there because everything is pretty much made in China. But where can you go and get literally that variety of stuff that literally has everything? And unfortunately, it's just crap. Hey, Adam, man, you got to get me in trouble, dude. Man. Yeah, you can't not go in there, man. What's up, Kretcher? Is that your name? It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I think I did a live stream 2 weeks ago. I did like 2 back in a row when I didn't post any regular videos. People were like, oh, where you been? I did post 2 videos to let you guys know what was going on. Nobody watches the live streams. Last place was Sears. Yeah, that's a shame, man. I used to love going to Sears as a kid, dude. Oh, man. You know what was really sad? Last time I went to Sears to replace a ratchet, I bring it there, and before they would tell you, oh, you know, go get one off the shelf or the same thing and swap it out. Nah, last time I went there, the guy opened a drawer and he brought out what was clearly like a rebuilt ratchet. I mean, yeah, they gave me a new one, but it wasn't a brand new one off the shelf. All right, look, I'm just going to keep yapping away. I'm going to start. I just want to sort these 2 pallets out here. We're going to do a little bit of scrapping, but there's some cool things on here. And you know, maybe you guys can give me some ideas. I still have my Craftsman tool set that my grandpa bought 60 years ago. Wow. That's pretty impressive, man. It's a shame. Like, Mark B. Hold on a second. I hope you're doing good. When are you going to drop all the new videos? I've been dropping new videos every other day. Corey Weidenmayer. Damn, you're in 3 feet of snow, dude. Yeah, Florida, man. You can't beat Florida, dude. All right, check this stuff out, man. Turn my microphone. I'm going to crank it up a little bit here. Let me know if it's too loud. So first thing I got, now everything on these pallets was free. I did have to pay for some things that I got from the dude, but he just kept loading stuff on my trailer. And that's one thing I absolutely love about scrapping is all the free stuff you wind up getting. People are just like, come get this, get it out of my shop. You know, it really is like awesome. And for someone that likes to repurpose stuff, I'm like in heaven. Check this thing out, dude. This is some type of arm. It's got this thing on it, spring loaded. Now, I don't know about all this. I really ain't got a use for that, but it's adjustable. You can lock that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can just get rid of this and put a camera on it or something. What I was thinking about with this thing is mounting this thing up on this post over here somewhere, because it has, or it had, this thing looks like it comes off, but this, there we go. This thing extends out. Check this out. So what I'm thinking is, this would kind of be cool for hanging a tool balancer and hanging my, you know, like my jaw on there or something. It's heavy enough to hold the jaw. I just need to make a proper base. I don't know if this screw is missing something or stripped out, but I don't know. I don't want to scrap it because it's a pretty cool thing. I think this was originally for like a saw, some type of, I don't even know what it would be for, why they would need an adjustment. You could just attach this somewhere, but I thought that was pretty cool. I think I can just mount it right up over there, and it would cover pretty much this whole area where I cut up the big wires and stuff like that. And not only that, like I could take this off. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna do that right now. Let's see. Um, got my Allen Keys John Daly sent me. I use these things all the time, dude. That's a, it's got a little nylock nut on there. Get this off of here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't know about this piece here. I mean, it's a cool contraption. I don't know what application I can repurpose that to, but if I ever have a saw where I need a dust collector, we might keep this up on the shelf. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it for sale. I think I have a whole, like 2 shelves of stuff that I need to put online. But that's cool. I can actually add like 1, 2 more tubes. This thing here, this is like threaded into plastic. I don't like that. This comes out. Oh, the whole thing's coming out. Oh, look at that. That's not even the same size. They got like, and then this plastic. Oh, you know what it is? It looks like these. There was probably a nut. Probably can't tell, but there's a space. They probably were in here. Did I hear it drop? Probably fell off the other end. Anyway, I can find the nuts. That's what it's missing, a nut that would have been in there to let you screw this thing in. But I think I have some aluminum pipe so we can keep it light. I would slide right in here, and I can this is steel. I can weld a lock nut on here, and I can get this thing to range all the way over here. Matter of fact, maybe I do away with this and go to a different size. I have a big pulley that'll probably ride on top of here. If I put spacers, I can probably get it to ride on all of it. And then I can have it, you know, go back and forth. Because you don't want to just be stuck in one area. You got to be able to, you know, or maybe what I can do, I just picked up those aluminum I-beams. I'll do away with this, and I'll just strap the aluminum I-beam right to the bottom of this, put this up as high as I can. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Matter of fact, they're right here. Look at this. It's all coming together. And this I-beam might be a little big. Oh, but I do have a trolley for this. Oh, yeah, look at that. So it'd be like this. And this thing's kind of light. We can actually lighten it up some. I'll bore some holes in here if I have to. But I think that's plenty strong enough to hold this. And then this will be perfect. This will give me the gantry I need. And that's heavy enough. Those, I don't know if you ever held those jaws. They're not light, man. They're like 50 something pounds. Okay. So now we just need to find something that we can attach this to let this kind of swivel around, and that's going to be sturdy. It's another project. That's all we need, right? It's more projects around here. Oh, check this out. Look at this. Look at this. I picked this up off the floor over there. So me and Oliver were doing a bunch of transformers the other day. And for years, I've seen these things were brass, and I've always cracked them off. Never thought about it. It was just like little pieces. I never thought about it. But we did like not even that many transformers. And I'm looking around, and it's just like a sea of brass. Then I got to thinking, I've probably scrapped so much brass as steel over the past like 14 years. I should have been saving it. I could have like buckets full of it probably by now. Okay. Check this out. I already opened one of these up, so I know what it is. But this will tell you what you need to know about things made today. Made in China, right? This is brand new. This was sealed up. It's actually pretty cool. I really like these. I might put these on the website for sale at a discount because they're made in China. Snap on. Look at the S's with the little wrenches. They're snap-on floor mats. I don't know how expensive they are. It's got the little registered trademark, so they obviously made for snap-on, but I wonder if they're all the same. They're probably all the same. Let's open one more just to be sure. But that just makes, you got to really think, man. Like, I'd be pissed if I went online, snapon.com, and I ordered a floor mat, and it came and said, made in China. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just, you don't go around saying that you're an American-made product and you're hawking crap made in China. Okay. September Hot Tools, BA item. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. So I've got 4 of them. I'll probably keep one, put it in my office, or on the way to my office. Or if someone wants them, hey, shoot me a price. But that was free. I thought that was pretty cool. A little sad that they're made in China. Okay. We got some type of blower fan. This is kind of sticky, and it looks like it was probably used for some type of cooking exhaust. It's just got that like sticky stuff. I like the dual fan though. It's missing a capacitor, so I doubt that it's going to start up. Piece of copper in there. What do you guys think? Should we scrap it? Let's see what's going on here. Oh, hey, my mom's in here. What's up, Mom? There's a lot of comments. There's a lot of you guys in here. What's up? None your beeswax? Is that Wolfman Jack's microphone? What's up, Leanne? A table saw guard? Yeah, that's what I think that was. Okay. I'll be here all day reading these comments. Oh my God. You'll buy a floor mat? A doormat, not a floor mat. Yeah, okay. $90 to $100. Hey man, come on down to Big D's discount. I'll sell it for $39.95. Get you like 2/3 off. We got 4 of them bad boys. All right, let's see how far we can get with this thing. I'm missing my interest in. All my little things are gone. Can't scrap if we don't have tools. Let me see. Where's my things? That could be a problem. Oh, I see. 1 second. These things house like all my little bits. So for the type of scrapping that I do, that's like my main go-to things. Pretty much nut drivers and screwdrivers, and a socket set. Pretty simple stuff. Well, this looks like it's going to be a pain in the butt. Aha. I don't even think that was really necessary. I need to get this other side off. How is this even on here? You know, this might be a job for the torch. What you have to do is get these wheels off first, which a pry bar. You know, there's never a pry bar around when you need a pry bar. One time I had some really big ones of these. And I should have kept them. They were massive. I think they had like 10 horse motors or something on them. Ah, okay. I thought I got lucky and someone already took out the set screw, but unfortunately not. But there is a little notch in the blade for you to send down. I just made the knots a lot bigger. Okay. So like it's not metric. Man, I don't know if you can hear that music, but they are jamming. My neighbor, who's a mechanic, used to be a DJ. So he's got like a full DJ set up in his shop. Ah, none of these fit. That's really weird. All right, we're going to attempt this one. It's closest. If not, we're going to use the old when in doubt, burn it out method. Oh, there we go. I seen it move. Oh, there we go. Probably should be wearing gloves. All right, the problem there is I've bent. Right. Okay. Ah. Like it's 7-8. Nope. Close though. Hopefully this thing is copper, because if not, it's gonna suck going through all this. I actually got a couple motors. I think I showed yesterday a preview of a new machine I bought. I already had one, but this one's going to be for a specific application. And it's like we're performing surgery over here. Oh no. I was having problems with this before. Something happened. Somebody jacked my thing off. And these bits get stuck on there sometimes. Okay. One motor. Let's get a little sneak peek down in there. Oh yeah, she's copper. She's copper. And that is the wrong side. So when my stator record is finished, can you guys hear me when I'm talking? When my stator record's finished, motors like this, I won't have to sit here and unscrew this. There's going to be a part of the machine that'll do that. Okay. Oh, dude, that's threaded in there. That's annoying. All right. I'm going to have to, I don't like this. We're going to have to get a steel bin. But we got ourselves a nice copper motor, man. This thing's heavy. We don't stockpile steel. At least not on our workbench. All this other stuff we'll gather up for further processing. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find the right size. It's a star bit. I must be going blind. All right. We got a little stainless bin. This is a Impervitran 250. Wait a minute. What is this? Is it a step down? .24 volt to 115 volt. I mean, looks kind of new. Should we keep it? Try to sell it? Scrap it? I mean, you know how it goes with transformers around here, dude. They don't last long. We'll set that in the maybe pile. Trash, or I'll say that's prepared steel. Some type of natural gas or propane manifold. I'll cut that off. We'll consider that aluminum. We got aluminum. Man, that's like brand new, whatever that is. Is that a check valve? the heck is this? Some type of sensor? I have no idea. Dude, it's a mini disc brake. Hey, I actually have a use for this. Ah, oh, dude, this is actually even thicker and better than the one I was gonna use. So I'll just tell you right up now, on my wire stripper, I have a bunch of disc brakes from mountain bikes. And I was going to, when I push that lever up into neutral, I was going to add one of these to one of the end of the shaft so that it locks it immediately and stops it. This is, I think, even a better setup than, or at least a better disc. I can use the calipers. I have hydraulic brakes. Oh, look, a little brush, a little metal brush. Welder. Yeah, that's a keeper. Scrap. Plastic. And then this looks like some type of stainless tub. It's a shame it's so crusty looking. Man, imagine eating from that restaurant. Ew. Yeah, they weren't too keen on cleaning their freaking oil fryer or whatever that was. I wonder if I could clean that up somehow. That's actually a nice little parts cleaner pan. Nice and deep. I got a bunch of pans, but nothing that deep. I don't know. It's kind of nasty. I think we're just going to send it as a sheet or what do you call it? Stainless. Cast. All right, we'll put all that in the aluminum. That's a keeper. I'm just going to scrap. That's steel. Oh. Oh. Look at all this. I have no idea what this is, but they're pretty cool looking. Hey man, look at that. Almost like a little gun turret thing. There's a symbol cast on there, but it's not very actually coming through better on the camera. That's an odd thing. What else we got? Oh, check it out. This guy was making something. That's a brand new top of like a wooden fence, a fence post. I can't even speak today. Is that cast aluminum? Yeah. Here's another one. Unfortunately, I don't have a fence, so we'll be sending that right to the scrapyard. Bag, scrap, plastic. Okay. What do you guys think these were? Any ideas? He was obviously machining that. Machine surface there. Another one right there. I don't know, but we're just going to use this for our... This is all going to be cast. I've got no idea what I would use these for, but I might keep one of them. Huh. They're casted, whatever they are. They're all the same. some type of switch. Man, I miss the old mercury switches. Hey, before I even scrapped, I don't know how I was getting them, but out of old, I was in demolition. That's how I was getting them. We used to do a lot of demo houses and whatever. The old thermostats, and I'm pretty sure the old washing machines, they had mercury. I had a little jar, man. It must have been like this big. It was so heavy, man. I kept filling that thing up with mercury, and I have no idea what happened to it. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Now, he told me these two things work. I'm going to put this cover back on to protect this. I'm going to put these up on the shelf. Because the guy mentioned earlier about the water sluice. My number one issue I had with that water sluice was water flow. I didn't have enough flow $155 gallons a minute. So now this one actually has a plug. Oh, I can plug this one in. See if he was BSing me or not. Let me see. Don't let me forget to plug this back in. This is powering the computer. Last time I thought I plugged the computer in. Oh, that sounds nice, man. Fired right up. Last time I forgot to plug. I plugged everything in, but I forgot to plug the actual strip in, and we almost lost the stream. Oh, we got two good pumps for our water sluice when we get on to doing that. Plus, I got like 4 or 5 other ones that are supposedly good. I've never tested them. But for what I want to do, water flow is going to be a huge thing. I'm actually going to build a big manifold where I can plumb like 3 or 4 pumps into it. And then, crank on the pump. When I need more flow, I'll just crank on another. As I open things up, we can crank on some more pumps. Wow, this one's so much heavier than that other one. It's probably a copper pump. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at all that. Red gold. Oh, yeah, she's copper. Steel. Broke my ankle. I think this is an impeller for a dust collector. This is plastic. It's garbage. Oh, hey. We got some snap-on bags, man. Hey, how many we got? 4? We got 4 doormats. Hey, for every doormat you buy, I'll throw in a free snap-on bag. Look at that. Down here at Big D's Discounts, man, we take care of our customers. Oh, we got a little strap, right? A little strap. You got yourself a little pocket. You got yourself a little mesh thing to put little tools. Oh, is this one of them things you put in or around a 5-gallon bucket? Huh. Why would there be a mesh bottom? You could use this to go like, I don't know. I don't know what you would use this for. It's got a cinchable top though. Hey, we're going to become a Snap-on dealer around here by the end of the day. They're brand new. Let's keep them off the dirty bench. Oh, we'll be putting them on the website. Oh! This is really heavy. It's full of all different size U-bolts. If I ever want to put a lift on my 4-wheel drive truck, I just need some spacers. I can jack that shit right up. Man, that looks like a brand new A-arm to something. We'll throw that with the aluminum. I'll let that bolt slide, man. That's the 3%. Aha! Looks like we have some type of bump stops or suspension stops or something. I've got no idea. I might keep them. We'll put them over there. Another one of those. I'm not sure what this is off of, but that's a nice, it's probably off a Chevy or Ford. I know my Ford has, or I don't know what that might be off of. My Ford has big rings, I think. I'll keep that. Put that over here in the keeper pile. Yeah, this definitely looks like spacer blocks. These are metal. These are aluminum. This looks like some type of motor mount, or maybe a shackle mount or a suspension, something to redirect the suspension. Shock spacers? I have no idea. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. Liable to wind up in the prepared steel. Okay. That's pretty much for this bucket. It's just full, more rubber, plastic, something or other. We have some 410A refrigerant. Probably about maybe a third or a quarter in there. I don't know. Probably just scrap that. I have no idea what I'm doing with that. There's a frame, some heavy angle iron. I'll definitely be keeping that. Okay. And then made in Taiwan. This was the rest of that. Well, that's probably from that. This is what that blade was from. The guy had a bunch of these. I had a ton. I had a ton of that stuff. My hands are filthy. I should have grabbed some gloves. Let me sit down for a second. That pallet's pretty much done. The rest of that stuff is nothing but all different size shackles and whatnot. He did say that other blower worked, but I got a ton of blowers from that dude. I guess there's like a wood shop right around the corner from him or something. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh man, I forgot to tell you guys, dude. If anyone wants to get on here with me, let's see. Okay, so my microphone's doing pretty good. Scrapping on the fly, YouTube's putting ads on this. I always turn on the monetization thing. I thought that monetized it like after it. I didn't know they would put ads in the middle of it. Can those cast pieces be used on the new Copper King? I don't know. Not really. Like cast aluminum. There's a tendency to crack. I don't know what I would use them for. Steve drank your mercury. Oh shit. They wrap around a 5-gallon bucket. That's what I thought, man. Yeah, everything I just showed came out of a stuff I got for free. I can use the U-bolts to attach the I-beam to the pipe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See? It all comes together, man. I need some really wide ones. Yeah, that'd probably work out great, man. $410 Freon needed for shop AC. Yeah, it's, well, as soon as it starts warming up, man, we're going to break out one of them big old 5-ton units I got. I got 2 of them. They're practically brand new. I got them up on the shelf over there. What's up, Made in Holland? Yeah, I have to look into that because I always turn on the monetize the video thing. I didn't know they were putting ads in the middle of it. I thought it was like one ad before. Sorry about that. I don't know if I can change it now, but anyway. Oh, did I mention about the I found some settings in StreamYard, and I think StreamYard was actually cutting the power to like the machines and whatnot when I'm in the background. I don't know if those when I was taking that stuff apart, if it Yeah, Adam, I seen your post with the 90 to $125 for the Snap-on doormats. That's crazy. See, I love stuff like that, man. You get free stuff brand new in the box. Now, a lot of times, like if someone's giving you something, it's probably worth it, or they couldn't sell it, or they got no use for it, and probably no one else does. So it's like most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, it's just scrap. I mean, it's worth something to me, a scrap price, whatever it be, aluminum, steel, or copper. But you know, stuff like that. Obviously, those bags and the mats, I can't sell scrap. I might be able to sneak them in with the shred, but they would look a lot nicer on my website. And maybe someone that loves Snap-on will enjoy them. I think they look cool. I'll keep one, put it in front of my office door. Any thoughts on going metal detecting in the future? I've always wanted to do that, man. You know, I live down here in South Florida. We have very busy beaches and people, lots of vacationers, locals. I'm sure the beaches down here are probably loaded with stuff. People losing earrings and rings and stuff. Electronic scrapper, you're enjoying the live? Haven't seen an ad yet. Oh, that's good. What would I do if you were to give up scrapping? That's a really good question. Honestly, I don't know, man. There's, well, I'd probably pursue manufacturing, fabrication, and welding, and I'd really push to become like a machinist. I really. And I got to get back on. I've been so busy. My milling machine's just been sitting over there, which has been bothering me. But I'm trying to get a CNC machine, which is going to kind of rekindle that. I'd probably want to do something where I'm making a product. I mean, that's my ultimate goal with this YouTube channel. The whole reason I started it in the first place was to build an audience for a product I wanted to make. And the product, I've never even hinted to what it is. It's, in my opinion, it's something cool. I actually built a prototype. I mean, probably 15, 16 years ago, probably a year before I got into scrapping. Right before that, whenever 2008 was, that housing market crash, probably a year before that, because my trajectory was, you know, I was working at a huge demolition company, making decent money, working 50, 60 hours a week. I was gearing up to go to college to become a patent agent so that I can patent my own products. And you didn't have to go to law school for that, because there's only one difference between a patent attorney and a patent agent. A patent agent can't represent other people in court, but you can represent yourself in court for your own products. I didn't necessarily want to patent other people's stuff. I mean, I would, but I was going to patent my own stuff. I had a couple things I wanted to build, and I had built a prototype that was just awesome, man. Everybody that's seen it was just like, where did you get that? You know, no one had anything like it. And to this day, no one has anything like it. I mean, there's something somewhat similar, but not even close. And for what I wanted to do, I was going to take a product that's out there, that's been out there for years. A lot of big companies make them. But I was going to make a product that, just looking at it, would be standing alone. It would stand out. You would immediately know there's something special about it. And the only way I can it would be like think of cars, right? You got a Ford Taurus. or a Honda Civic, and then you got a Bugatti or a Rolls-Royce Phantom, or let's just say a Bugatti or one of those $1 million specialty cars that are almost customized to the customer. I was going to do something like that. No two would have been alike. They would have been fully customizable to the person buying them. They were going to be 100% handmade, 100% made in America. And, I would have made a couple like theme ones, and then each one would have been numbered. There would never been two alike. They've been like pieces of art. They're going to be cool. What I needed at the time was a milling machine and a lathe. And I got those. I can make the prototypes here, but mass producing them, I wouldn't be able to do that here. The CNC machine is where it's at. So that's what I would do. I would go back to and the reason why I put that on hold is because when 2008 came, I went from working 50, 60 hours a week to like 20. I was living in Deerfield Beach, a block from the beach, in an apartment on an island, basically. And, that's not cheap. And when you go from making so much a month to barely being able to feed yourself and your dog and whatnot, all of a sudden these transformers came into my life. It's like God put certain pieces in front of me at certain times. And, at the time it would have been an uphill battle, and I wasn't really ready. I didn't have any tools really. I had a little toolbox, very little. I might have had a little tiny air compressor, and that was it. Actually, I don't even think I had that at the time. I had nothing. I had like a little a toolbox with a couple little hand tools, and I don't even think I had a power drill at the time. I might have. I had a couple tools because I had them on my work truck, but it wasn't like I have now where I'm thinking about having my own shop where I can do whatever I want. I didn't even have a truck back then. I drove a car. I had a Lexus, a Cadillac. I had a Jaguar. I was into luxury, big 4-door luxury cars, I wasn't really Robert, you own a Honda Civic? I'm not downplaying anyone's car, I'm just saying there's a range, Derek would be working for Target if he wasn't a scrapper. I can tell you right now, I'd probably get fired. I'll tell you why. When I was a teenager, I was born in Atlantic City and lived outside Atlantic City. I worked at a gas station, one of my first jobs. Matter of fact, it was probably the only job I've ever had in my life where I dealt with the public on a mass scale. I worked at a gas station right outside Atlantic City on the White Horse Pike. Coming out of Atlantic City, one of the first gas stations was a Shell. And it was the cheapest gas in town, so they were super big. I mean, these a-holes would be these people would be lining up down the road. It's crazy. I can remember back, $5 regular was the most common thing people came in and got. And $5 regular would get you enough gas to get you through half a week or even a whole week. But when I worked there, I'd say 80% of the people were cool. They just come in and say, hey, can you do this? And, whatever their gas was. And in New Jersey, I don't know about your states, but you can't get out and pump your own gas. Like down here in Florida, we pump our own gas. Up there, you had an attendant pull up 5 regular, 10, whatever you're getting. They have to pump it. And then they can ask if, hey, can you clean my windshield or check my fluids and stuff? And you'd have to do that stuff. Well, you'd have some people that would roll up in there and just be rude to you. Never met you a day in their life. They just come in and, the best was people that would come in and tell me, they talk down to you. Oh, make sure you don't get gas on my car. Well, shit, man. I'd pull the pump out of the car while it was pumping and hose your whole shit down if you were ignorant to me like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a lot of flack, and good thing the guy that hired me was like, I was cool with them because I would have been fired real quick, man. I'd tell people they rude to me. Sometimes I wouldn't even pump their gas. Tell them to get the F out of here. Go down the street and pay 10 cents more a gallon. I don't need your business. Well, I mean, it wasn't even mine. I was getting paid by the hour. I didn't care. But I'm not, you know, I'm not good with the general public, because if someone's rude or ignorant to me, I'm going to put them in their place immediately, and there's going to be a conversation. I'm not going to let someone talk down to me. You know, I'd rather just be here by myself in my shop. You know, let them ignorant people, all those Karens out there, and them soft ass soy boys and all that crazy stuff that's going on, and these people with the you know, identifying as a cat and all this crazy crap. Yeah, we be having some problems, man. Me and the general public don't mix it. So somewhere in a shop where I can be messing with my machines and building stuff, that's the kind of job I'd go after. Let's see. Is my shop heated and cooled? Dude, I'm in, who's that? Dakota Xer 412? Definitely not heated, dude. I'm in South Florida. It's like 72 degrees right now. It's kind of hot. I had to turn a fan on. Cooled? Hopefully this summer it will be. Yeah, we're going to take advantage of the crazy amount I pay for rent with my included electric. Super Rashid, you got a metal detector? That's cool. You ever find anything cool? Or maybe a computer specialist? Hey, man, you know what's crazy? When I was in school in the 80s, I guess, you know, when I was in middle school, you know, a little kid, I can remember the first introduction into computers. Now, I never had a computer as a kid, like in my house that I could play with. So I never really got into that. I was outside burning shit down, like burning down the backyard and stuff. You know, I was having fun. But I can remember in school, we had computers, and they had this cool little program where you could program this turtle to do things. And I took to that like a duck in water. I'd probably be really good at programming stuff because, and I'm really excited to get into like CAD and CAM for CNC and programming, you know, the stuff I need. I think I'm gonna be really good at that. But I can remember as a kid, I was good at like programming that stuff, and you know, it was really easy for me. I had a cool program. If I gave up on scrapping, you and I could partner up making sausage. Dude, I'd be 500 pounds if all I did is make food all day. That sounds pretty good, though. And I look forward to when you make a good batch, man. Cool YouTube, make it extreme, cool build projects. Yeah, I really want to get back into I need to get back into building stuff, man. It's tough when, man, it's just tough when you're like pretty much a one-man show and your overhead just sucks up all your time, dude. You know, I mean, this place is 5,500, but in reality, to survive, dude, everything with my other place and all my stuff, fuel, food, phone bills, insurance and stuff. Like if I'm not making 8,000 a month, I'm not making any money. Imagine trying to do that by yourself, you know? And then having your main source of income go away, and then, you know, trying to some of the equipment that I have is nice and all, but I probably still in my mind, I probably still need $100,000 worth of equipment and tools. So Transformers, more bucks in the skies. Yeah, Transformers are great money, dude. I mean, if it were up to me, if there was one thing I can just scrap, It wouldn't be copper wire, it wouldn't be motors, it would be HID copper transformers. And the way I used to get them, see, this whole thing of me processing lights and gathering up the transformers, that's a relatively new thing in the past like 5 years. In the beginning, I would go to a customer and they were bringing them down. They were doing maintenance. So they would go change them out, bring them back to their shop. I would provide them with 55-gallon drums and they would fill them up. So I had a route. I would go and I would just show up to full overflowing drums. I just sort them out real quick. And that's all I did. I didn't buy copper wire. I didn't buy light fixtures, aluminum, steel, nothing, man. I showed up. I was usually there at a customer for no more than like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And boom, I was on to the next customer. And I'd come back at the end of the day with my F350 squatting between 1 and 2,000 pounds, 1 and 2 tons. It's easy to get 1,000 pounds of transformers. That's like one barrel, I'd come back with one of them big square totes. I had it cut in half. It'd be mounded up in there. You mound one of them up, your truck is squatting, man. And I do that almost daily. And that's the scrap I went, because it was simple. I'd back my truck in the shop and we would use a forklift. In my first shop, I had a forklift, and get them right to the table. My guy would pile them up, and I'd be helping them. Once we got to a certain point, I'd start cracking them. And then since the second press was so fast, and my original guy, it's a shame the dude was on drugs. I just couldn't have someone on drugs around me like that. And I tried to help him, but by far the best scrapper I've ever met, because he was used to scrapping to support his drug habit, so he was good at what he did, but I didn't like what he did. And I had to wash my hands with that situation. But halfway through piling them on the table, I'd start cracking them. He'd finish up, and by the time he'd have a mound on the second press, and by the time I finished those, he would catch up to me. And I mean, you want to talk about piles of transformers, man. That table, we used to stack it up 3 feet high, as long as that 4-foot table, every other day. Hundreds of them. That press, hundreds of thousands of transformers, man. It's pretty impressive that it's still going. Wasn't it 2008 when I came down to visit? Probably. Yeah, because that's right around when I started scrapping. Thomas Roberts, at my current age of mid-60s, I found that people only get a few opportunities in their lives, perhaps 3 to 5, and maturity has a lot to do with if you take advantage of any of them. Yeah. I probably missed a lot of opportunities being young and dumb, but I can say this. I feel absolutely blessed, because like my whole life, ever since I was a little kid, I always liked to see how things were done. And I always liked to work with people, because I wanted to learn everything. I think I said in a previous thing, my stepfather and all of his friends, they all had like shops, and they were always building and doing things in them. So I looked at that as a kid, like, oh, okay, so a man should have his own shop. And he was able to pretty much do everything. I watched him fix the house, fix his car, fix electronics, work on everything. He just fixed everything. So I figured that was it. And that's what I wanted. So I worked with as many people as I could. I mean, I've done so many, pretty much all the trades I've dabbled in. And I'm very fortunate, because in my opinion, the people that I've worked with were like masters of their craft, And a lot of people, they won't show you the tricks of the trade. A lot of the old timers and stuff like that, they're not going to sit there and show you, the gravy and how things are really done, and how to finesse things. And I was fortunate; people kind of liked me, and they just showed me things that they normally wouldn't show other people. Everything from when I was a young kid, um, uh, everything. I just my mentor when I was working in restoration, that guy taught me so much about a lot, not just cars, but a lot of things. To even my my ex-girlfriend's father, um, my kung fu instructor, like that guy. I used to have private lessons with a real master, and he would show me things that he wouldn't show like students he had for years, because he didn't think they deserved that knowledge, or they weren't ready for it, or whatever, you know. And then like in demolition, the people I worked with, our office in Delray Beach, we were the cream of the crop, man. Like all the guys that worked in that office, we would be sent all over the country to help other offices on big jobs. um, we did some really cool stuff. That's by far, and like that work is kind of hard. I could go back and do that work right now. If I walked in that office and say, "Hey, man, I need a job," I'd be in a truck that day or the next day. But that's some hard physical work. I'd probably lose some weight. It'd probably be good for me, but I don't want to be working that hard for, you know, I can make more money in doing this. Um, it'd be hard, and that's another thing. 14 years of working for yourself, it's hard to even consider going back and working for someone at a full-time job, having to show up and someone scrutinizing you or telling you what you have to do. Now, when I had a job and I worked for people, I always did my job to the best of my ability and tried to make the company look good so that I had a job and we get more business. But some people above you, for whatever reason, I just never liked people talking down or no one really belittled me, but some people just like they would use their position of authority to try to put you in your place, and that I don't take kindly to. What else we got here? Ryan Warner, what's up, dude? What's up, the dude from Poland, man? I don't know what your name is, but thanks for stopping by. Um, Here in Alton, Illinois, where I am, lead shielded cable running underground everywhere. AT&T has it everywhere hanging around. What does that mean? They're giving it away? I seen some of that lead cable down in Miami the other day. They had like this big cable, man. It was huge. It was like lead shielded, tar. It was like an underground cable or something like that. It'd be nice to be able to see that machine strip that shit. Um, any updates on the restoration of small forklift? Man, I've been so busy, I haven't even had the time to mess with it, dude. Um, I'm thinking next week. Not this week, but like the following week, probably next weekend. I'll probably have a little time to mess with it. I've been pretty much in here by myself, man. You found a golden a golden ring on the beach. That's cool. You know what's sad about that? It's like you find a ring or something, and then it's like, someone's probably distraught that they lost it. Um, so that's. I visit New Jersey family. Tried to tip those guys for pumping. Been there. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you did get some nice people that would tip. Someone's out there revving up his engine. But, Most people, they just tell you what they want and they go on their way. It's probably even worse now. Do I think it's time to do a refab on the Copper King? Oh yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, you'll see in a video coming up here soon. There's a serious. It's still running, still stripped it. I didn't have to use my backup stripper, but she's on her last leg, and it's a main part that I need to replace. So once I have to replace that, I want to tear it down, do some upgrades, maybe try and add one of the features I've been wanting to add for a while. Let's see. Edward Hatchett, you live in Pensacola as an electrician? I've scrapped lots of copper. I'm from South Florida, man. I'm in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. I live right around the corner from Trump. It'd take me 5 minutes to drive to his house. Matter of fact, when he goes to his golf course, I haven't been caught yet since he's been president, but last time he was president, man, I get stuck because they come in with motorcycle cops and state troopers and just hundreds of police, and they just block off every road along the whole way, and then you're stuck for about 30 minutes until he passes. It's pretty cool seeing him pass, but it's kind of disrupts your day a little bit. I mean, in reality, I guess there'd probably be a lot of eyes on him, but you could just hop in a blacked out SUV and drive around and no one would ever know you were in there. What's up, Ryan Argon? Corey Wildner. I've worked in the same company for 36 years. I often get asked to train others, and I always told the trainees the tricks and tips. No point in throwing them to the wolves. Yeah. And you know what, dude? I used to do that when they would hire new people, and I'd be watching them struggle. I'd be like, hey, man, do it this way. Because one, like if you're out on a job, your company, and you're wearing your company shirt, and you're sitting back watching someone struggle or they're doing it wrong, that's looking bad on your company. And the other contractors might see that, and then they might not want to hire you. Like in my trade, when I was cutting concrete, we'd show up on a job for the main contractor to cut an opening or do whatever. But you had electricians, you had plumbers, carpenters, especially the electricians and plumbers. They might come up to you and be like, hey, man, how much to drill some holes or cut a trench? So you might get more business. So it's always good to, look professional, know what you're doing, and have the people that you're working with know what they're doing. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, they used to call me the rookie. Like, some of the older guys that been there a while, they'd be like, oh, why are you sending the rookie out to do this certain job? Like the gravy jobs, like the big machines that you didn't have to do physical work. You just sat back and ran a radio control, or you sat on the machine and operated. They'd be like, oh, why are you sending, the rookie out there? Well, I'd go out there and cut twice as many feet as you, or, I just made it look easy, and I always tried to make, help people. But man, sometimes you could show something to someone 100 times and they just never get it. It's, you either got it or you don't, and I guess after a while you might pick it up. But man, we had some people. I used to have a bunch of people come in there from other, we were one of the biggest companies in the whole country. So we'd have people coming from all kinds of little companies. Oh, I cut concrete for 10 years or I cut concrete for 25 years. And then I'm looking at them like, damn, dude, what have you really been doing for 25 years? Because it don't look like you've been cutting concrete, you know? Oh, man, let's see what we got here. John Daly, you spent a few nights in Atlantic City casinos? Dude, when I was a teenager, we used to catch the bus. And imagine going to the casino tripping. You know, we used to catch the bus to Atlantic City. By the time we got there, we were full set. And I don't know, we were 15, 16. I already had a beard. So we'd go to the casino, start gambling, having a blast, free drinks. You know, it was a good time. Did a lot of dumb stuff as a teenager, but Atlantic City was always fun, a fun trip, man. Catching a bus to Atlantic City was a great time, man. Edward Hatchett, you wish you had a Copper King? Well, I mean, that wire stripper, you can buy them online. It's not anything. The one I have is just modified. I bought it in pieces and modified it right from the get-go. Ripped all the stuff off. It's a commercial thing you can buy, but all the ones that you can buy, there's issues with them. In my opinion, there's issues. Even the one I see down in Miami. First of all, with a machine like that, you always hear me talking about dialing it in. You got to dial it in. And you know, the one down in Miami, I don't think they've had that machine for a year yet, and their blades are just chunks are missing out of them blades because them guys don't know how to dial it in, and they're just jamming big wires in tiny holes, you know, or whatever they're doing. I don't know, but I sit there and watch them. They'll be running wire, and I'll start tweaking the dials on it for them while they're running it. And, you know, while they're weighing my stuff up, the machine's right there by the scale. And I'll be messing with their machine and trying to, and maybe it's a language barrier or just a brain capacity barrier. But I showed this guy 5 times one day about how to adjust the machine for certain wires. And then I come back and they just ain't right, man. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to dial the machines in. Let's see. Bush came and blocked up Pensacola. Yeah, that sucks. 5,500 is crazy, dude. Yeah, it is. These people are crazy. I thought it was crazy when we first moved in here and I was paying 3,700 and the dude was he was paying 1,000 of it. Was he paying? What was he paying? Yeah, he was paying 1,000 or whatever he was paying. I was paying more than half of it because I was taking up more space. Yeah, he was paying 1,000 and I was paying the rest or whatever. I thought that was crazy because my last shop was way bigger than this. If you look back at them first videos I shot with the water sluice, that shop was big, man. It was way deeper and it was all open. I had a small little office, half the size of this office. But I was only paying $2,400 a month. And I thought that was crazy at the time. And I thought that 37, man, I would be glad to be paying 3,700 right about now. You picked up a used Strip Tech 1000 for $800 last spring. Oh, hey, it's Steve. Oh man, let me see. Let me see what he wants. Hello? Yeah. 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 I'll be done soon. Man, didn't I give you one? Oh shit, man. All right. Yeah. Nah, just come to the front. All right. Steve's going to junkyard. Cut a floor panel out. He needs to borrow a sawzall. Let me get him a battery and a sawzall. Okay. Oh, ha! The boss is texting. Someone must be thinking I'm talking too much, as the internet usually does. I get myself in trouble all the time. All right, where were we? uh, oh, Aries Acre. Sorry if I butchered your name. The guy that bought the Strip Tech 1000. Does that thing needle things up for you? How's that working out? That's what I'd like to know. Is it the needler? That's what I call this thing. Brain capacity barrier. Yeah, man. There's a lot of that going on nowadays, dude. I mean, people are just, I don't know. I don't know what happened to our world, man. People are just, I don't even know, man. You should hire out a week at a time to different scrap yards at 10K a week, because that's about what you make, maybe, and show the workers how to run their machines. But make a deal with the scrap yards too. Oh man, 10K a week, dude. Now you're talking. Oh, my oil drum's heating up, or cooling down, one or the other. That's an interesting idea. Now, I don't know, man. I've seen some of the people working at the scrapyard. I mean, what's that thing? What's that saying, dude? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't get him to drink. I don't know if they'll retain the information. I mean, some people, yeah, a lot of people were, but sell your best stuff as bonus. What stuff? When I see stripping machine tests on YouTube, it's enough to make you laugh. Yeah, what's that company? Stripmeister that everybody has? I think Shark Scrapper has a Stripmeister. He did a video on it. Thub Print. I keep calling that dude Thumb Print. It's actually Thub Print, I guess, but it's got a thumbprint. Like, I don't know, man. That guy confuses me, but he's got a lot of good information. I like his channel. It must be cold up there for them dudes now, man. In Canada, he's from Canada, but they did a video on the Stripmeister, and to me, looking at them, I don't care how good your video is. There's not much you can do to make that machine look good after running something like I got over here. Now my machine is jacked up. You know, it's got a hopped up motor. It's spinning faster. It's kicking out some copper, and it's a one pass deal. You know, when you see something like that operate, and then you see someone running a single roller. Even you can buy single roller machines like mine. Mine has 4 rollers. You can buy machines that have 2 rollers. But it's just, I don't know. That company reached out to me. They emailed me. They were going to send me their big top dog machine, you know, and the guy emailed me. He goes, "Hey, we'd like to send you he gave me the model number, and I looked it up, and it was like their Mac Daddy machine. And, you know, it strips wire and everything, but the feet per minute is slow as molasses. And the fact that it's it only cuts on the top, it's only got 1 drive sprocket on the bottom. So what's good about my machine, it's got 4 drive rollers. The bottom's pushing, the blade is pushing. Then when it hits those second rollers, the blade is pushing, the bottom's pushing. So that's why I have the clutch on that thing, because when that thing wraps you up, it's got 4 rollers dragging that wire in. It's going to drag your hand right in with it. And, you know, I watch those guys in them videos run those single. No, I'm not, you know, it strips wire. It does strip wire. And that's the same issue I have with this machine here. It's only 2. What's good about this machine over the Stripmeister, both of those blades are powered. And on this one of them's actually spinning faster than the other. So it's actually slicing, you know, as it goes. The Strip Tech 1000, in my opinion, is a step up from a Stripmeister, because a Stripmeister only has 1 drive wheel, and an idler, the blade is just idling. It's relying on that drive on the bottom. Yeah, it gets the job done, but it's not a good design in my opinion. Well, anyway, this guy emailed me, and they were going to send me, and it's an expensive machine. They were going to send me their machine, and I emailed the guy. I'm like, "Hey, dude," because it said in his thing, "Oh, we like your channel on this." I'm like, "Have you seen my channel? Have you seen my wire stripper? Have you seen how fast this thing is kicking out wire?" Like, and I think at the time I had the Strip Tech 1000 bolted to it. So I'm like, dude, you know, and I said to the guy, I was like, "Well, if you want to send me a machine, that's fine, but I'm going to compare it in the video to my setup." And I don't think he liked that, because he was like, "Well, you know, we were kind of hoping that you would just do a dedicated video and showcase the machine." And I'm like, "Dude, you know, I'm going to put it up against my machine, and I'm going to tell you what I think and how it compares." And it would not have compared on any level, you know. So I was kind of like, you know, I kind of just let it go. Even though they were going to send me a free wire stripper, I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not going to, just because you send me a free machine." And I love tools, man. It was hard for me not to accept a free tool. I couldn't do it, because I wouldn't have intentionally bashed their machine, but it would have came off like I was bashing their machine, because I would have compared the feet per minute, how it strips. Like if I would have ran 500 MCM through their machine and then ran it through my machine, I would have kicked out 4 times as much, and it would have came out clean. You would have just been picking up big chunks of copper. Their machine, you would have been waiting. I mean, you could have ran on the backside and started peeling it, but you would have had to physically peel it because it's only cutting the top. And on the smaller wires, I watched, I think it was Thumbprint. He was literally struggling with trying to get it to strip the smaller wires. Like, it just, nah, that's all right. That's funny. Yeah, it was strip and test machines. I would like to get a bunch of machines in here and test them. Now, I'll tell you what. There's a couple of mods I want to do to this machine. You always hear me about dialing it in. I'd like to put a chart on there, and there'd have to be a couple things I'd have to add to it to get that to work properly, to where you could just look at a certain size, hold it up to the chart, and be like, oh, okay, you need to put this here and this here, and put the machine at a certain number for a certain size. Now, there's all different types of wire, different types of thicknesses of the plastic, so it would get you close and probably be, you know, right on for 90% of the stuff. But you wouldn't have to be like, oh, you know, just sitting there adjusting on the fly blindly, not knowing where the machine is. It's like anybody that's a truck driver, one of them old semi trucks where you got 2 stick shifts and you're over there like shifting 2 gears. If you miss a gear, you don't know where you're at. Then you got to stop and start all over. It's kind of like that with the machine. Like, you know, I can look at it and kind of see where everything's at, and for the size, why I've done it enough. I know, okay, I need to crank on this. I need to lower this. But there's something I want to do to that machine that'll just streamline all that and stop a lot of the crap that's going on with that machine, with the blades being off or sideways or not lined up, and the inlet and things getting jammed. Like almost an anti-jam thing that you could have in there. So it's just time, man. Like, let me tell you something, man. If I had nothing but time to sit here and play in the shop, you'd see some of the coolest shit you've ever seen. I guarantee that. But unfortunately, you know, that's not exactly paying my bills right now. So I got to make some money. I'll see you later, Frank. Thanks for stopping by. Steve wants to ask about her car's extended warranty. See what else we got here. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I am not yet completely sure about the universe. Albert Einstein. Yeah, that's an interesting topic. I actually like to get into that on my other channel. Oh, I think Steve's coming. Let me go check this out real quick. I'm alive right now. You're working, bro. Steve's working, but you know, come by and say hi to everybody.
How you guys doing? Where's your camera?
The camera's over there. Steve's getting ready to go cut the floor out of. What are you cutting the floor out of?
We got to get a fuel pump.
You got to cut the floor?
Yeah.
Here, take these batteries.
An expensive fuel pump.
That thing runs them batteries down quick.
It's $700 for off of Mercedes.
A Mercedes fuel pump?
We got to cut a hole in the floor to get it.
Dang. Thank God mine's right there on the bottom. All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, just bring that door down when you walk out, dude. If you can. Well, there you go. The guy that asked about Steve earlier. There he is. He's been doing a lot of. He's always, like, even when he was working here a lot, he's always done automotive. He's a mechanic. You know, that's what he likes doing. He makes more money doing that than he could working for me, because I can't be paying mechanic prices for scrap and labor, you know. Let's see. Gotta go. The boss is dragging me out for shopping. Ha! The boss. Yeah. The boss is texting me all the time, telling me I talk too much. Thanks for stopping by, Corey. That's why it's a whole week for those hard heads. Oh, training them people. Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be a good teacher, man. It's like Oliver. When I met Oliver, he was fresh out of high school. He was working part-time with his mom at night as a janitor. You know, he had like a whole, I think his was the fourth floor he was responsible for. But that's pretty much all he knew. Like when he came to work for me, his father actually worked for me. You'll see his father in some of my videos. His father worked for me for a while, part-time, like on the weekends. um, and I think his father wound up getting a job where they were sending him to the West Coast, so he was going to stay over there. And I asked him, like, "Hey, man, you got anybody young that can work part time?" He goes, maybe my son." I'll never forget when the first time Oliver came. He was like this little kid, and he really didn't know much, but he was eager to work. He didn't sit around on his phone. He showed up on time. Like he took a 30-minute lunch, and me, I'm an hour lunch dude. He's ready to get back to work. I'm ready to take a nap, So it always impressed me that he was willing to work, but he didn't know much. I mean, he didn't know the different bits, techniques. He just never did anything like mechanical his whole life, I don't think. And that was kind of like something we had to, train him on. But I think I did pretty good training him. See you, Scrap. And I did a video on the Vivor. For a hobby scrapper, it's not a bad little machine. You're not going to run a company with one. That being said, I ran 6,000 pounds of wire through the small drill power Stripmeister in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So which one was better, the Stripmeister or that Vivor machine? Interesting. What's up, E-Waste Mike? I had a sheet metal roller that I used to strip my wire with. Hey, Joe S., if you look at, I think I had a video on it. My first wire stripper, first I learned, I went through the process. I learned how to strip it by hand. And if you see all those people that have seen my old video where I showed how to hand strip wire like a pro, is because the dude Brian that used to work for me, we were sitting there. I was trying to strip wire with a razor blade, and I was getting pretty good at it. But he's like, nah, man, you got to do it like this. And I don't think he had one, or I don't know where he got it from, but he whipped out a stainless fillet knife. And he goes, you got to use a stainless fillet knife, and it can't be that sharp because you don't want it digging in the copper. He stripped like not even a foot, a couple inches off the end. At the time, I had a forklift. And he started tying all the wire up to the thing of the forklift, the roll cage. And he was stretching it down the alley, long runs, stretching it down the alley. I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing? And then he took it and he was running the wire back like this, walking it back fast. And I was like, holy crap, man. And then that's the way I learned to strip wire by hand. And then he was also like, short pieces, it's not worth doing it that way. And he showed me how to do it on pulling it up through your leg, pushing the blade into your pant leg. Where's my blade? It's been a long time since I stripped wire by hand. I used to be really good at this. But he was the one that showed me keep the blade and pull the wire through, right? And then bend and twist. See what that did? Oh, when you bend and twist it, it pushes the wire right off. Now, anybody that's watched my old videos, I think it was that how to strip wire like a pro. I probably can't do it now, but I took 4 wires. That's not really practical to do it like that. I was just kind of showing off, but you know, you could strip. Yeah, I can't do that no more. I got a little bit on it. It did kind of strip it. But in my opinion, if you're stripping wire by hand, you don't want to use a razor blade. That's it right there. And thank you, John, for getting me this knife. I use it every single time I run my wire stripper. But doing that with a razor blade is kind of sketchy. That's how you get holes in your pants. But running that, like that, flip it around, find where you started, and it's all about like the angle of the knife, man. You sit there and do that, you'll strip that stuff pretty fast. And if you have long runs or spools, tying it off, stretching it out. If you got 2 people, one person stretch it out. As soon as you get 1 or 2, have the one person start running it. And then if you pre-cut the ends before you tied it on, you want to tie the copper on, not the whole thing. You can reach up there and grab 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of the insulation and just walk it all back in one shot. We used to strip miles of wire that way, man. And Brian, to this day, even better than me, could untangle. Like, you see me stripping that spaghetti. Now that I have this machine here, I just grab a piece and feed it into the machine and let the machine rip it out of the pile. And that's probably why the issue that I have with the machine right now, the machines weren't meant to pull a 200 or 300 pound bird nest of copper up into it. That's something that I'm probably the only person that does that. And without a 4-roller machine, you're not going to be able to do that. The single rollers, I don't think are going to be able to do that. But this guy, for whatever reason, I don't know what he was doing, but he could untangle the bird nest, dude. And this is where I learned we would have a sawhorse. I really wish I would have started YouTube when I first started scrapping, because it was a learning. So many things that we did in the beginning that I don't even do now, but it was like the learning curve and the processes we were doing. It would have been cool and informational. And I tried to show a lot of that in my early videos, a lot of the techniques to scrap that you would use if you didn't have equipment like I have now. Stuff that the backyard scrapper could use, but this guy could he would just unwind the stuff. And the way we did it, we had a sawhorse, and we would just stretch it out and lay it over the sawhorse. He would unwind that stuff so fast. It was like he was unwinding it as fast as I was feeding it in the stripper. But my first powered stripper was a Harbor. I went to one of my customers. They did a lot of signs. They made their own signs. So they had those Harbor Freight 4-in-1 or 3-in, whatever they are, the roller, the press and the brake, or the shear and the brake, They had 2 of them. One was a nice one, like an American made one, and one was a Harbor Freight one. And as soon as I seen them as they were scrapping them, I think I paid like $40 in scrap. That was back when steel was 14 cents a pound. I paid $40 for these. I think I paid 10 cents a pound. They were 400 pounds. And as soon as I seen them, I'm like, I'm going to make a wire stripper out of that. You know, the 2 rollers had gears, and all I did is I took the hand crank off. I drilled a hole, I tapped it, and I bolted a pulley, and then I took a house door hinge, welded it to the front, and bolted a 1-horse motor with a small pulley on it. And it just the weight of the motor kept the tension. I mean, it was dangerous. You think this is dangerous. Imagine sitting there and then having a motor right in front of you with a belt right here and wires going I mean, it was crazy. I threw belts all the time. Shit would get wrapped up. It was insane. But I'll tell you what, it worked great. And what I did is I took my grinder. I had Brian spin it, or I think I cranked it up. I forget which way I did it. I think I actually cranked it up, and it was running. And I took the grinder and I ground the cups in one, and I ground the blade. Now, it wasn't hardened steel, so I had to sharpen that blade, but I was able to cut, I think probably not thumb size wire. That maybe thumb size wire was the biggest wire I could get through there, and it stripped. I ran that stripper for probably 3 or 4 years. And then I got the copper, well, what I call the Copper King. And then when I got that machine, shortly after that, I got my granulator. So now I would run the big wire through the big machine, and then I would set the homemade wire stripper up for solid core. And I had wrenches, big wrenches set up, because the way I would strip the solid core is I would just use a part of the machine where it was just solid, not that I cut a groove in, okay? And matter of fact, the original grooves that were all the way on the side for like rolling round stock or whatever it was, all the way on the end of those machines, you'll see there's like 3 grooves. You could just stick wire in there, and those grooves that were in there, the 2 things would cut a lot of the smaller wire. It would cut it. So that was like right away, that was cutting most of the wire. And then I had cut like 3 different cups in there and blades. But the solid core, I always ran on the other side straight through the machine, flattened it. Like this machine will flatten it and just use sheer pressure to split the insulation. And I put I think I had 2 wrenches that I had, strapped to it so that they would keep the wire in one spot, because you actually had an adjustment on the machine. And I would feed solid core, like Brian would stretch all that wire. We were doing long runs. And this is where I learned that long runs are not the best thing to do if you don't have someone on the backside, because you want to talk about a bird's nest on the backside. I didn't have a dump table, so it would just come out the machines and fall on the floor. And we would mound it up. I mean, this high, just a mountain of wire back there. 20, 30 foot. I mean, he would stretch the stuff out the door of the shop. And, I would feed the solid core through this machine. I'd have the big machine dialed in. When you dial that big machine in, you can strip pretty much 3 sizes. 1 in the middle, and then 1 to either side of the hole you dial it in for. And maybe even more than that, but it's better. It works better that way. And then I would have the granulator. You want to talk about going through some poundage of copper. I would feed the granulator. I had that's where this, matter of fact, this table underneath, this big 4x10 plate, is sitting on top of another table. And that table in the corner has holes where I took this handle, I unbolted this handle and bolted it right to the table. So I had this sticking off the edge of the table. And I would just grab a knot of copper, cut it in pieces about this big, and throw it in the granulator. And then while that was chopping copper, we were feeding the other machines. And then we would just strip everything until it was 100% gone. For a while there, for about a 2-year period, I didn't sell one piece of insulated wire. We chopped it all. Stripped it, chopped it, the number 1, the number 2. Now I learned quickly to separate the number 2 and identify number 2, because that'll ruin your whole load of chops. But man, we had so much wire going through so fast, man. It was incredible. And if I had Brian and then another laborer, sometimes I'd have 2, 3 people setting up. Just, I was busy there for a while, man. It was good times. We're gonna have to step up our scrap game over here. We don't have enough scrap coming in the shop. That may sound odd to some people, but we need to probably double our scrap capacity. All I know is I'm getting hungry, and someone offered me ice cream, so we'll be doing that later. Let's see. To make your Copper King, you didn't have to restart your metal lathe. Matter of fact, the lathe, I have a video on that. I shot a video a while back, and I got to finish the other half of it. I took it apart to clean it. I found a broken piece. I don't think it's that critical, but I need to fix it, and I'll show you what it is in the video. But yeah, I'm going to need a lathe when I build. And I have all the plates. For those of you who remember, I have some thick aluminum plates up there that I want to make the side framework out of aluminum. And for the movable parts where there'll be parts rubbing on parts, I'll probably make some type of steel inserts. Now that I got a milling machine, I can kind of do all that stuff. Gotta go. Thanks for stopping by, Super Rashid. Riley Wilson, hello from Canada. Where did you learn about hydraulics and how to make your press puller? Said, do you buy new or used parts and put the system together? If I have to buy new stuff, I will, but I always try to find stuff on the used market or barter. I'm all about the barter system and getting things through scrap. Everything I have in here now, I pretty much got secondhand. I got on a super cheap deal. It's hard for me to buy things new because I know there's some things I have to buy new. It's just, you're just not going to come across certain things, but there's a lot of stuff I know I'll come across in the scrap, and a lot of things I've gotten in this shop just from scrap. And it was like an opportunity. I'm here doing something, and then boom, this opportunity over here presents itself, So, yeah, I like to try to use used parts, but there's some things that you don't want to use used. My boss is out getting her nails done so I can sit around and watch her goofy ass. Yeah, someone. Whoops. Dude, how the hell did I do that? I just clicked on Adam and accidentally clicked on you and put you up on the screen, dude. The young guys at my shop show up for work 8 to 9 minutes late every day, then disappear into the shitter for 25 minutes, and then spend the rest of the day on their phones. Dag. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's the youth nowadays, dude. By far the Vivor. It has multiple sizes. Funny thing, E-Waste Mike was the one who introduced me to Vivor. Thanks, bud. That's cool. That works good for solid core wire. Yeah, even stranded wire. The fillet knife is better than a razor blade. You don't want something so sharp it's going to dig into the copper, like a razor blade. Wow, still here. This guy's a rock star. That's the way I do solid core too. I don't run it through the blade. I run it through the crusher side. It's quicker. Yeah. Do you have to eat ice cream through a straw with that beard? Probably would help. Scrapper never once, he waits. Yeah. See you later, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by. They were attempting to import a highly motivated class of slave workers to replace the guys in the shitter and on their phones. Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's finish up this other pallet. Let's see what we got here. This one's going to go quick, and then we're going to get out of here. We got a motor. Let's see here. This might be a good motor. It's a 208 single phase. Should we plug it in? Y'all want to see me electrocute myself live? Look at all these wires, man. So I'm assuming this is a variable speed fan motor. We're just going to scrap it. I keep hearing what sounds like a flagpole. Like, you know what a flagpole sounds like when like the thing is smacking against it? Maybe I'm tripping or something. What do they call that thing when you hear things in your ear? Tendonitis or something? Woo! Right. This looks kind of suspect. Nope. All copper. All right. Oh. We got 3 motors today and a chunk of aluminum. What else we got? What do you guys do? Do you guys get? I've been selling this as iron aluminum. Do your yards take this as that? It's kind of borderline. It's a lot more steel than aluminum, but I watched a guy in India, what they were doing with these, it was actually pretty cool. They were pushing the shafts out. They were splitting them, and then they were putting them down like this, and they were pressing them through this jig that was cutting them up in pieces, and then they ran it through a hammer mill, and then they were using a mag belt to pull off all the steel. And I mean, they had a mountain of these, dude. I'd actually like to get into something like that. Or, oh, what do you guys think? Should I put that in the... This looks like a lollipop, man. Dude, I'm so hungry. I'm like, this looks like a, what do you call that? The drumsticks, the ice cream drumsticks. Dag, man. I'm like hallucinating over here about food. I should put this in the incinerator and see if I can't melt that right out of there. What do you think about that? You think we should do that? I wish I could put a camera inside the incinerator. Oh! So this guy, he does a lot of machine work. Look at all that. Bam! This was off of a super precision automatic chucker. Whatever that is. Chase head in and out, pulley, coolant. A lot of knobs on this thing, man. Dag. These are some really nice switches, man. They look like they're loaded with brass. And this thing here looks like it's loaded with brass. Look at all them connections. It's like a whole honeycomb of brass stuff. I don't think we're going to get into that in this video. That is some serious micro scrapping. But let me know if you think I should take all this apart. See how much brass we can get out. Get a little wire. I mean, that's on the very small end, but I'll strip it. We'll see. Oh, snap. Oh, I need a crane in the shop. So, this is like one of those blowers. It's got the capacitor. Bad rotary switch. Let's go check this out. If this thing works, which way is this thing supposed to turn? Maybe that way? That's a bad rotary switch. What do you think? Should we jam some wires in there? Okay. We should have our resident electrician here for this. Whoa! Oh! Oh! It didn't like that. Hold on. We kicked the breaker. It smells like burnt motor. Oh, it didn't like that at all. I wonder if I was spinning it backwards. We might try that again. I'll spin it the other direction. Kicked out all of our lights. Are we still live? I hope that didn't kick out my internet. Huh. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Let me just see something. Yeah, I think we were going the right way, but something's up with this. This might not even be 110. You know what? I'm gonna, before I burn this thing down and shock myself on live, we're gonna let this slide for a minute. And I'm gonna look this model number up. This would actually be a nice blower. Huh. Okay. It did something, so it's not a total, let's just send it to the scrapyard. All right, now, we got a box. Battery. Man, it looks like this thing's been in a fire. Let's get a voltmeter. Told Oliver he needs to get a voltmeter. Oliver got a job as an electrician, and the first thing they had him do was dig a ditch, which is hilarious because his teacher, this is a direct current, duh. His teacher told him most likely you guys will be digging ditches. I think these things are cooked. That's got no voltage, 4 volts. Okay. These are definitely going to the scrapyard. Yeah, but I told Oliver, man, don't show up with some Harbor Freight tools on your first job, man. And get himself a decent set of electrical tools. But yeah, he got himself a job, and his first day he put a huge blister on his palm. Actually, he would have been here today if he didn't mess his hand up. And then they had him put in some type of light, recessed light, and he was up there beating him with his hand or something. I'm like, dude, you know what a rubber mallet is, or ask for the right tools. Or he's digging trenches without gloves and burned his hand up. Or I don't know. He might have been doing something else with his hand to burn a hole in it, but I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I don't know what this is, but there sure is a lot of them. Wow. Look at this. Man, look at this. No idea what this is. But it looks like stainless. Nope. If it is, it's magnetic. I mean, there's thousands of these things. And this guy's a machinist that I got this from, so I think he was making these. He said he was making something for the military. Or it looks like these are bought. It looks like he was modifying. He's writing on different numbers on them with Sharpie. Does anybody know what that is? It's got a small hole down the center. It goes all the way through. I don't know. Looks like prepared steel to me. Okay, and we have three boxes of these bolts. 10.9. I don't know if that's going to come through. And it says JH. Nice looking bolt. It looks like some of them he was trying to drill a hole and tap it. But most of them are just, they're going to go right in my nut and bolt bin. Says to be BLAEKZIN. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Whoa. Whole nother box. This one. Oh, look at this. Some type of collared thing. I'm not sure. It's magnetic. Okay, this box here might be destined for the scrapyard. I'm just going to go through them. Well, not all of them. It looks like half of them still got the heads. Half of them are drilled through. That's, in my opinion, going to severely weaken. As far as they drilled that down, that's going to weaken the bolt. I'm not sure what he was trying to do with them, but it looks like he machined the end and then drilled and tapped. That's interesting. I mean, I might keep a couple of them, but and this is just all good ones. This whole box, hundreds of them. To be blaze zinc. What? Baked zinc? I don't know. I think he said these were for the Army. They look like an Army bolt. They're Army green. Does anyone know what 10.9 JH? This camera sucks for focusing in on close things. I don't know, but that's my 2 pallets for the day. And that's all I got. I mean, there's more stuff here. A lot more stuff. Wait till you see what I got going on. But that's going to be it for the 2 pallets that I wanted to sort through. Let's see what we got. We're at 3 hours. I think we're going to wind down here. Let me check, see what we got. I appreciate everybody coming by. I really want. Don't catch my shirt in that. Yeah, that thing would probably. All my yards that goes is shred. Dang. Your yard pays dirty aluminum price? It's either tendonitis or hallucination, depends on what you're oh, snap. What do we got here? I really want to see you get to 100K subs. Yeah, me too, man. I think once I hit like 50,000, it'll probably bump it up a notch, the algorithm. All I know is when I hit like 20,000 subs, boom, it really shot up how many I get a month. And then like at 40, I think it's like every 10,000, but I think 50,000 is a good milestone. And Joe S. See, I got to finish loading the truck and head into the scrap yard near the Tijuana border. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see what we got here. I would keep it. What's that? The blower? Yeah, I like that blower, man. I think it's like a dust collector. I actually have a nice jet dust collector. Years ago, I had 2 big tubes going down to each one of my transformer presses. I mean, I did so many transformers. Dust was a actual issue. So I had them plumbed right into the back of the transformer press on the first one, and it would collect a lot of the dust. And then I had this shroud on the back of the second press with the dust collector right there, and it collected a lot of dust, man. That was at my first shop where I was, in there by myself. Now, the first shop, I split with someone, and it was crazy, man. Oh my God. I really wish I would have YouTube. So my first shop where I was, matter of fact, in the beginning, I didn't even have a shop. I had a storage unit. I had the press in 2 pieces, basically on like a cart. And what I would do is after work, cutting concrete, I had a box truck, and I had a 550 box truck. I'd go to my warehouse or storage unit, public storage. I'd load up the transformers. I'd load up my press. I'd bring it to my work, concrete cut-in where I worked. When everybody left, I keys to the building. So I'd show up there at, 10 o'clock at night, set my press up on the big welding table they had there. Well, the one press sat in front of it. And I literally, in the beginning, the first year or 2, I ran those presses. I sat in an office chair like this in front of the press. And Brian would prep them. And in the beginning, we didn't clip the wires in the beginning. He just kind of prepped them and cut the edges off so they'd fit in the brackets or whatnot. And I would grab the wires and use it to jam it into the press. It would break it. I would jerk it out with the wires, and literally I was throwing them. Oh my God. Brian was dodging transformers, man. I was there, and there was holes. I had to put a piece of plywood up against the wall because I was bouncing them off the concrete wall into this giant mound. It was very unsophisticated compared to what you see now. This is very streamlined, and we stack them nice, and but in the beginning we were just slinging stuff, man. And I would sit in an office chair. I had 5-gallon buckets sitting in front of me. And the craziest thing about this first setup, when I got to I rented basically the second floor of a shop, and all it was a mezzanine, like a wooden loft with these long two by 12 beams. And I would use the forklift and pick up 400 pounds of transformers in a what I called a pick barrel, 55-gallon drums with wheels I had mounted to the bottom. I'd put them up there on the second floor. And then what I did is I would stage them like in the corners close to the sides of the beam, so it wasn't a bunch of weight in the middle. And then it was so crazy, man. I'd bring everything up there, and then it was kind of like an L, and we would start them here and bring them across, and I'd pull it out. The sides would fall right in front of me, and I would throw it to the wall. And Brian, the first press, it wasn't like this. It was a small ram, and I had this thing that was like this, and I had different plates I had like 5 different plates with different size holes. You would put the plate on, put the transformer on there, and press it. And it was dangerous because it would flex sometimes, and the real tough ones, it would kick the transformer and plate out at you. And Brian got hit a couple times with it, and I got hit with it a couple times. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but I mean, it's dangerous when hydraulics kick stuff out at you. But being that I cut concrete, the dust, was building up there. And that's where I first started wearing and to this day, when I crack transformers, even though we got a good flow, and you really can't even smell it in here. I have such a flow going out the building. I would wear the respirator. But I was cutting concrete. I cut a big hole in the wall on the second floor and mounted a big 220 fan from a big AC unit, dude. This fan was badass. And, that was our first thing. Man, I was so thinking back on the steps it took me to get the transformers to where they are now. It was crazy, but yeah, man, we were so, it was actually nice being able to just sit down and make a couple $100 an hour or more. I mean, I was making all the transformers were copper back then. I don't ever remember the first 2 years coming across an aluminum transformer, but I'd sit down and run it out of an office chair, man. I was at the office. Oh man. Good times, man. Yeah, at first, if you don't electrocute, try yourself again. If you don't electrocute yourself. I'd scrap that thing before it scraps you. If your breaker's large enough, it ran a while, you may have an overload problem. Well, also, I don't know how many amps that's pulling, but there's a lot. This shop is, the electric's wonky, man. Everything's like on 2 breakers. So you really got to, I'm sure if I plugged it into a different outlet, it would probably fire up, but I really don't have time to mess with it right now. Crack alert. Oh, sorry, man. You know what? If I feel bad for my editor, man. If you guys knew how much crack I edit out and how much she edits out, it's like, I'm surprised she hasn't sent me a set of suspenders by now. What's the motor voltage on the amp? That thing doesn't have a plate, unless it was on the back. Yeah, there's no thing on there. JH bolts are low grade. Grade 10.9 bolts, high tensile. Someone's saying they're low grade. Someone's saying they're high tensile strength for structural purposes. I mean, the guy, the guy did say they were like for some type of military application. He was doing prototypes for. He does a lot of prototyping, I guess. Arnold Smith. I love copper and brass. Those two are the only metals I weigh before going to the scrapyard. Yeah. I mean, oh, you do. You're from Holland. What's up, man? Um, so where I go, I don't have to weigh. Usually, when I'm weighing stuff, it's for filming purposes, or if I'm trying to set out a goal, like I want to make sure I bring enough to get to this amount of money. I'll keep track of how much stuff I have. Some scrap yards, man, they're shady. I don't have to worry about where I go because they don't know that I weigh my stuff. A lot of times, like I'll know exactly how much I got. They're always spot on or within a pound, either a pound up or a pound down. And when you're dealing with multiple, like my buckets, their buckets that they dump it into, they're big, like my 35-pound drum, and then I dump it into like a big box of 500 pounds or something. You got half a pound here, half a pound there. That's stuff you can't really worry about. But if you start getting into like 4 or 5 pounds difference, then you got to figure out what's going on. Your scale, their scale, So anyway, I'm starting to hallucinate. It's definitely time for dinner. And someone promised me ice cream. So we'll be holding them to that. Yeah, so I want to get on here with next time. I always do these live streams. I just do them last minute. I really I think about it like an hour before I have time, but I'll try to schedule them in advance or try to start doing them more at a regular time like I used to. And I'd like for people to come on here with me and hang out. I can send a link and oh, the ice cream ain't gonna lick itself. Huh. I guess someone's telling me to tighten up. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, see you later, Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you everybody for stopping by on the stream. I know it was kind of like impromptu, but I'll try to get back on a regular schedule. I don't know if I'm going to do it on Saturdays. Oh, Jay Walter, dude, you just woke up. We're winding it down over here, man. I guess you could rewatch the stream. Well, thanks for coming by, dude. I was just talking about getting back into doing the regular streams, and I was just going to mention that I got your Jay Water. I'm sorry, dude. You did tell me that before. Hey, man, I'm dyslexic and slightly retarded, so I make shit up in my mind, and I'm hallucinating because I'm hungry. But I was just saying, I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule with the live streams and get back on the ingots. I got your ingots sitting on the thing there. And what's the copper that I can't think of his name, man. I can't think of anything right now but ice cream. We're going to get back into melting it. As a matter of fact, we're going to start with those aluminum things, and we're going to see if we can't melt them in the incinerator. Thanks, Jay Water. Yeah, we're gonna. I don't know how I could film that because that's out there. I guess I can move my stuff to the front of the shop and pick that thing up with the forklift and move it over. But I have to. I have to think about that. I'd like to, because that thing, it only does like a 30-minute burn cycle. 30 minutes, man. It melted a bunch of aluminum. It melted silver. That thing was cooking, man. So now that I'm going to wind up keeping that thing, we're going to have to go back to seeing if we can't get that thing to run on waste oil. And if I can get the thing to run for free on waste oil and the blowers running off the electric here in the shop, it's going to be worth melting all kinds of things in it, man. Cleaning up all the aluminum, making ingots, and making some products. We're going to get back on making the perfect ingot. I haven't forgot about that. And which will be really cool if I can get this. I'm trying to work out a deal on this CNC milling machine. I mean, I can do it on mine, but it'd be nice to have a program to where once I have the mold, and then I can set this. It'll be a lot easier. But yeah. No, I didn't melt any silver yet. I've been stacking up my silver though, and I got some big boy breakers. We're gonna be tearing into here soon. To add to that stuff you just see me, I got a nice little chunk of silver. I probably have enough to do that small ingot that came with the furnace, but nowhere near enough to do the 10-pounder. Or I don't know how. I mean, the copper was 10-pound ingots. I don't know how much silver would be. Probably similar in weight. Gradients from Spain. Dang, what's up, dude? Well, sorry for the people that are just getting into the stream, but I got to wrap this up. I got to go get some dinner, some ice cream, and yeah, Big Stack. That dude, he's got a lot of knowledge on that melting. Though I don't like the name of his forge, and it's probably the only. It looks like a good unit. It's the only reason I haven't gotten one. I'm not gonna buy something with the devil's name in it. But you know, good on him. He seems like a decent dude. But on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Probably, I might do a live stream in the middle of the week. I have something cool I got that would be pretty cool to show live. But as soon as yeah, I don't know. It'll probably be next weekend. I got a lot to do this weekend, but you don't want a program. What program? Program for what? Yeah, I'm going to be driving here in about 30 minutes probably. Anyway, I really appreciate you all coming to the stream today. I know it was kind of like last minute. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know any suggestions about any of the stuff that you've seen here. You know, we can, we're definitely going to utilize some of the stuff. Let me know about that Snap-on stuff that I got. What do you think about that stuff? Leave a comment. Should I put that up on the should I put that up on the website? Maybe you know what I'll do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep one of each of them. So there's going to be 3 bags and 3 doormats. I don't know if anyone's going to want that stuff though. We'll see. Maybe we'll give them away. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I got to go. I appreciate everybody coming by. Thank you. We'll do this again pretty soon, here in another week probably. I'm going to have to tighten up on the website because I literally have 2 shelves of things I just keep putting to the side that I need to actually put up there for sale. And there's a whole nother reason why I have the website, which I'll get into in a different stream. It's to help do something. Who is Derek? That's a good question. Who is that guy? Whoever buys the boat compass gets a bag for free. Man, I don't know what happened with that. Someone said, hey, how much for the boat compass? I was like, I don't know, whatever the price was, and they're like, okay. And then they never bought it. So it's just sitting on there. I still have it. It's sitting over there on the shelf. All right. Hey, thanks, Mom, for stopping by. See you soon. I got to call you. I got to talk to you about something. But we'll see. Oh, man. Jay Water, thanks. The ice cream fund. Whoa. Oh, we're definitely going now, man. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great evening. And a CNC program for your mill. Yeah, I'm looking at another mill that has a computer already on it. I'll see if I can't get some video of it. So anyway, I got a ton of videos. The editor got 4 of them for me, and then I have some other ones, and I got some cool stuff coming up, man. Wait till you see what I got coming up. It's going to be great. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. I could sit down here and talk to you guys all day, man, but I really got to go. So appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.